you know, it's a nice day today. Just a little bit, because I mean it's pretty cloudy as well. So we might get some sun in this, we might not. But I mean, it's not that important for this video. And you know, I could have done a little bit better with this video. I could have wanted something a bit more colourful. It's pretty monotone, but we'll work with it. So anyway, today's video, I was thinking, you know what, we've kind of talked about the tattoos last week, talked about how to, I guess, present yourself for your profile pictures a couple of weeks back. So I thought, let's add to that, not only tattoos, but I mean image, that's my main thing. So what we're gonna do today is I'm gonna show you basically how to add something really cool to your background, and you'll be using kind of your own attire as the muse for it, if that makes sense. I know I should probably stop doing riddles. Basically what we're gonna do is I'm gonna basically tell you how to take samples from your clothing, the color of it, so I can see I am wearing pretty monotone clothing, you know, black, navy, kind of the dark color, black and a bit of white. So I should have worn something with a bit of color, but I digress. We'll, you know, maybe I even might get a bit of orange in there if we can. We'll see. Maybe not very likely because it's not that much. But anyway, we'll try and use some of the colors, and you know, I might make a stop off, get some of the colors just to add a bit more to this video. Basically, we've been using colors to add a nice little radial circle in the background, and you know what, I'll show you how to do that later on. But first, let's go get the pictures and let's just try and get some interesting shapes, some shots, and some poses as well. So let's go. Okay, so I would say one of the key things to think about when you are doing this type of editing is try and think about, obviously have a creative, stylish kind of pose, because I mean you could just stand, you know, like this or something, but I mean you're not getting clicks for that, you're not getting no likes for that, it's kind of boring. So do something fun. We actually did just take a picture somewhere where I'm just like this, so you got a bit of action, like a bit of movement, you know, you got like bottom of the foot. Also, the reason I did that was that's got way more color than what I'm wearing right now, so think about adding color if you can. Like I said, wear some fancy shirt, just something with color to it. I mean, you can obviously use black and stuff, but that works best if you've got a very light background, almost a white background, so the sky. So if we were going to take a fake picture here, which we might do, it's pretty simple. All you got to do is you're on the sky and you're wearing black, get up somewhere high, get up somewhere high. Yeah, I got this. You know, I'll just cheat a bit. Get up somewhere high. You get up somewhere high, we shoot from a lower angle, and then you've pretty much just got a white sky, so the black will really contrast the white. So again, think about how your background colors are going to mix with the colors you'll be wearing, because obviously this wouldn't work with like a dark corner, it wouldn't make any sense. So think about that, and we're gonna go find some other places to take pictures. Right, so we've taken the pictures now, and we're starting off with a bit of not very conventional posing. That should be all right, because I mean we've got the main things in there, which is a little splash of color. I mean, also it doesn't help to have, you know, a bit of a unique pose, because it just adds to the picture. But anyway, let's jump in and start editing this picture. Alright, here is our image, and like I said, not the most conventional pose, but we'll work with it. First thing you're going to do, really simply, is just make a selection of the subject, which is me, and as you can see, I'm trying to get in as much colour as possible in this one selection, and also I want it to be quite wide, well, not wide, more quite high, quite tall. So again, just pick a nice wide section. And also one thing to consider, if let's say you are, you know, like me and wearing pretty monochrome, maybe just kind of dark colors, and you want to add a bit more color, you can go to the fail-safe idea and just take a bit of skin color. That's what I'm going to do. So I can see right here, I'm just going to select a little bit of my hand and just layer by copy, and then drag that over to your sample strip right here. And then also, you know, I'm just at the top as well, I'm going to take another little selection, and I'll just use
the lighter side of my face where the shadow isn't there. So again, just select that layer via copy, drag that to your little sample section here. And next, all I'm going to do is just make sure they're all the same size. This isn't really that important, but just makes the process, I guess, a little bit easier. Okay, so now if you're happy with your little sample strip you've got to the side, what you can do is select all them in the layer section and just right click and just merge them all, just so they're all in one layer. Just makes it a bit more easier. So you're going to do that, and then the next step is you just drag it basically from one end of your image to the other, literally like this. And you might be thinking this is got a bit weird at the moment, but don't worry, we're not finished yet. So we're going to go up to filter, distort, then polar coordinates, and then obviously make sure rectangular to polar is selected. And then if you want, just zoom out a little bit just so you can see what your design is, and as you can see this is what it will look like. So just okay on that. And as you can see now we have this weird kind of colourful circle which we used from the sample kind of colours that we used from what we was wearing. And as you can see, taking that little sample from the hand, you can see we've got a bit of that beigey pinky brown colour in the middle, and it just separates, you know, the dark colours. So it's a good thing to do, just remember that. So next, all we're going to do is just, as you can see, there is kind of a seam that is kind of right at the top. That's not that much of an issue, because all you're going to do is just rotate that to a place where it's going to be behind your subject. So I mean, chances are if you're going to do this with a person or a subject, the main thing about that person will be, I'm assuming you'd have maybe their face, their body in it. So you can pretty easily just hide that seam behind obviously the face and the body, like I'm doing right here. And the next simple thing you do is add a layer mask to it, and then just take away all the area of the circle that you don't want. So this is the basic idea already, but obviously as you can see I've gone a bit too much over the edges, so we will have to zoom in and then just, you know, just go over all the edges. I mean, this is kind of annoying they gotta do this, but I mean, it's gotta be done. I mean, it's time consuming as well, but like I said, it's gotta be done, so bear with me. Right, okay, that is done. As you can see, we've gone around the whole of my subject, which is me, and we've just put back in the areas that we needed, you know, the circle to be back. But I mean, also, as you can kind of tell, and this is kind of more of an issue with maybe not an issue with the way we shot it, just the effect of how we shot it. So because I'm standing on this bench and the light was coming from behind me, you can see kind of on the edges right here that there's kind of like almost a halo effect on the edge where the edges are kind of highlighted, which we don't want because it just doesn't look that realistic. So we can fix that now. So really simply, all we're going to do is add a layer and then make sure that is white, completely white, and then set the layer style to multiply. And then we're going to select the burn tool and then just literally burn the edges of the subject, because then what you're doing is, as you can see from, if I do that with my hand, it's literally just making it darker. It's adding kind of a shadow, I guess. So we're just going to do that around the whole of the subject. And obviously, like if you do too much on one area and you don't like it, you can add a layer mask and just take away the area that I feel is a little too dark. And one thing that you might want to do as well, and it just adds a bit more realism to the image. So if you get the burn tool and you just kind of go over just a little bit of the circle where, in my case, where a body part is. So I can see here, the leg, you just go a little bit out and you just shade that in a little bit. It looks like I'm casting a shadow on the circle. So what you're doing is you kind of just bringing that circle into the environment and making it look like it was actually there, a little bit more realism to it. So it's something you might want to consider if you want it to look a little bit, you know, realistic. Alright, and last thing I'm going to do is add a gradient filter, just bring the whole piece together, and that is pretty much the whole edit. Now what I will do is I'll throw it back to previous me, the one who's outside, and I'll show you just a little bit more, you know, variations you can get with this kind of idea, you know, some poses, and also how effective having different colors can be when you're thinking about this, because as much as this looks cool, it is a bit dark. So let's go back to original me and we'll explore this idea a little bit more. Alright, so I've got to make a quick stop off at home just to get some other clothing, you know, a bit of red,
bit of blue, because obviously, like I did say earlier, the best way to utilize this kind of editing style is showing off as much color as you can. So, you know, we've got blue shirt and something that's, we're not in that season yet, but I mean, I couldn't only find something, I wanted something vibrant, and this was the only thing I could find at such notice. But I mean, it'll do the job. I mean, I know people do say it's bad luck to wear it, but it's be alright. Cool pictures, but you won't even notice it because you'll see the background, so it's alright, it's alright. Anyway, let's get going. Alright, so we're in the shirt now. You know, like I said, splash of colour, looks alright. Had to fashion up a bit, just a bit loose. So then it's got 2 tones of blue, even though on camera this might look a bit black, to be honest, but it's alright. It looks, we've still got the main colour of light blue. So we're here, and I mean, this is the thing as well, when you are taking these pictures, think about your posing, which I've already said. And I mean, it's weird because I don't want to say that the best angle for this kind of stuff is a low angle. However, I felt like so far all the pictures that we've done are low angle. But I mean, this is the thing, if it works, it works. So I say, personally, for what you're going to see today, you're going to see a lot of low angle shots, or even maybe just mid angle kind of thing, which is all right. Again, just simple things like maybe just walking. If you don't feel confident climbing on something, just simply just walking, that kind of stuff. Just rock back and forward to give that motion, maybe hands in your pocket, stuff like that, looking around, do a couple of variations of it. And I mean, the main thing isn't the pose, even though that can sometimes help with this kind of editing. But anyway, let's move on with the pictures. Take about 5 minutes probably, and then we've got another jumper, the red one. Let's get going. All right, so we're on with our last costume of today, and this is a little Christmas one. Give you a bit of a glance of that. Look, so you know, it's kind of vibrant, looks all right. I'm not going to do too much with this because I feel like, you know, with the other pictures that we've done, got the whole foot thing in the air, got a bit of balancing, going a bit too much. So maybe I'll just show you something kind of casual. We'll just take a seat, and I'll show you how a seat picture can also look pretty cool with the right kind of editing. Saying that, again, it's a bit dirty. Saying that, it's only it's September. We got a couple of months for me to watch this until Christmas time. So you know what, if I get dirty, it'll be all right. Let's go on with the shoot.
Okay, so here are some of the examples now of what we took for this day. Now, I'm sure you can agree, it's a cool effect. It's something that you probably don't see that often. Maybe on Instagram, maybe just, I don't know, just daily. You don't really see this kind of edit often. And you know, I will admit as well, maybe you wouldn't use this for like everything, but I mean, it's a cool thing to just throw in sometimes if you're just thinking about, you know, changing up just some of the ideas, some of your images that you put out there, because you gotta admit, it's a pretty cool effect. But anyway, that is the video. Hope you did like it. If you did, please give it a like. If you're not subscribed yet, please subscribe, and I'll see you in next week's video.